Good job, Mighty Hunter.
Yeah, thank you.
Bringing it home in the back of the Scooby.
Well, I got out there pretty early. It was dark, and I was getting set up, and I jumped a deer out right in the area where I wanted to shoot it, which is maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing, depending on whether it was going to stick around. It probably wasn't going to stick around and wait for me for an hour and a half anyway. It was getting to be about, it was a little after 7. I noticed some movement off to my right where I I had kind of excluded that. I was like, I've never shot a deer over there. Anyway, there it was, and I almost feel like it was the same deer that I spooked, but coming back from the direction that it had run previously. Well, I can't know that for sure because all I saw were eyes in the dark. It noticed me. It was kind of meandering from my right, going like in front of me, but it noticed me, but it wasn't in a hurry. It turned around and it started to walk back. And so there was a big pine tree, and it crossed on the other side of the big pine tree. And of course, I'm right-handed, right? So I shoot like this or like that. I really can't. I can't physically go that way. So what I ended up doing was I lifted the gun up and I turned. I laid down on the ledge that I was on, sort of half laid. I made that movement while the deer was behind the pine tree, and then when it came out from behind the pine tree, I shot it. So then it gets even cooler, is because the deer ran between me and the car. The car. So it was closer to the car than where it was when I shot it. It was probably only like I don't know, 30 yards from the car. And I heard it run, and I heard a bunch of movement like directly uphill of me. I was hoping that it was right where I heard the last sound, and it was. And it was dead. So that's the entrance wound. The exit wound is way up here. So I went like that. It's pretty high, but there was some brush in the way, and so I've learned the lesson. You can't shoot through brush because the bullet, who knows where the bullet's going to go. I've had situations where I shot through some brush and it hit the animal, and then I had a situation where it didn't. I wasn't in a spot that I wanted to stay very long. I usually don't stay there past 8. So I didn't. It was where you and I hunted.
So, first doe of the season, we got about 32 pounds of meat from that. About 24 pounds of it was ground meat. The tenderloin was about 7 ounces, so about half a pound. Then we had ribs. We had about 4 pounds of ribs and about 3 pounds, 6 ounces of the loin, bringing us to a total of around 32 pounds, plus the heart and the tongue and the liver, which we did not weigh. A typical deer has about a quarter of its weight in guts, and then they say you get about 40 to 50% of its weight in meat. So we estimated this deer to weigh around 80 pounds. We did not have our scale. We couldn't find it because we hadn't used it since we moved. So, and yes, it's 2 years later. We're still unpacking things. Gotta love that. We think this deer was around 80 pounds. It was a doe. We were happy to get the meat in the freezer because I don't know about you, but good quality meat costs a fortune where we live. We consider any wild game around our area to be very high quality meat. We don't seem to have a problem with PFASs around here in our immediate vicinity. There are areas around us that definitely have no hunting zones because of the high levels of PFAS. But around where we are, that's not a problem. Anyway, around 32 pounds of meat from this doe, very happily put in the freezer. What's the biggest deer you've put in your freezer? Let me know in the comments.